Here's more wrestling news for May 29th, 2021. And your headlines for this afternoon include The Miz injury status and return date revealed. WWE employees told no more firings are coming. Velveteen Dream fired by WWE following incident with top superstar. The SmackDown Women's title picture is now clear. WWE is repeating the same storyline on SmackDown in less than 2 weeks. WWE wrestler planned on beating up Ultimate Warrior at the WWE Hall of Fame. Wrestler's wife puts him on blast after catching him with other women. WWE superstar caught hiding a phone full of private photos, and more. We are starting this video with WWE, who recently let go a ton of employees, both on-screen talent and behind-the-scenes staff, with 60 employees being cut just this week from the company's digital and production departments. We previously reported that WWE held a reassurance meeting on May 26th, and now we have an idea of what was said. The meeting, which was mandatory for all employees as the company has a plan to get staff working in offices again, was hosted by Nick Khan and Chief Financial Officer Christina Salen, who let employees know that no more firings are coming at this time. That means anyone who's still with WWE, either on screen or behind the scenes, is safe for now, but who knows when the next wave of firings begins, as the company continues to streamline production into one department led by Kevin Dunn. One person who didn't make the cut was Patrick Clark, aka Velveteen Dream, who was released this week after a controversial tenure. In a statement, Clark has said that his release came after claims of misconduct, which he says were not true in any way, but those claims aren't what earned him the pink slip. The Wrestling Observer newsletter notes that Dream was fired for a much different reason, saying, "We were told the firing didn't have to do with those charges or anything that had been made public, but for a different incident that one of the top stars in the company alerted management to." There's no word on who this top star was or what incident took place, but this comes after reports that Clark's bad attitude backstage made his release inevitable, misconduct claims or not. At 25, Clark has years ahead of him in wrestling, but he may find working a lot more difficult, despite WWE saying their investigation found no evidence of wrongdoing. As of late, WWE has been doing a lot of triple threat and multi-person matches, but that won't be happening over the SmackDown Women's title. Whilst both Carmella and Bayley have made claims to Bianca Belair's gold lately, the EST of WWE toppled Carmella on this week's show. In a match that had Carmella won, she'd certainly have earned a title shot, potentially at Hell in a Cell. With Bayley watching from commentary, annoying Michael Cole in the process, the role model claimed that Belair cheated to win at WrestleMania Backlash by tying her in her hair, and that she deserves another title shot. Cole's attempts to defend Belair earned him some more berating by Bayley, who claimed Belair pays Cole to defend her, and whilst the EST may have used her hair at WrestleMania Backlash, she beat Carmella clean this week. We could still see Carmella emerge as a challenger for Money in the Bank, but with her effectively eliminated from the title picture, Bayley is the next one in line. SmackDown didn't go as Carmella had hoped, but Shinsuke Nakamura was one of the show's best booked stars, and despite a couple of losses to King Corbin, has begun to make a comeback. Rick Boogs is a good addition to Nakamura's character, even if he was slightly off tonight, and the show saw the former NXT champion topple Chad Gable, after which he was searching for his crown. The crown was in the possession of King Corbin, who said it was rightfully his, and though that may be the case, an attack by Rick Boogs allowed Nakamura to reclaim his prize. A fairly straightforward rivalry, it's the most enjoyable story both men have had in years, and whilst Nakamura's incredible gauntlet match performance earlier this year has been forgotten by WWE, it's good to see him continue to get a slight push in 2021. Now at WrestleMania Backlash, Dominic Mysterio was attacked backstage, meaning that Rey had to go it alone against then SmackDown Tag Champions the Dirty Dogs before his son joined in at the end to help score the big win. A simple but effective booking strategy, attacking Dominic was an ideal way for Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler to get some heat, and we're sure it would have gone down well with a live crowd. On this week's SmackDown, fans saw a rematch from WrestleMania Backlash with a repeat of the same angle, only this time it was Rey who was hurt. Dominic found himself on the receiving end of a constant beatdown, but all it took was one attack from the returning Rey for the 24-year-old to pick up the win. It's odd for WWE to repeat this exact same angle, albeit with Dominic and Rey swapped, and it doesn't make anyone look good. Not only could Rude and Ziggler fail to win 2 title matches when both were effectively handicap matches, but Dominic looked like he was only a champion thanks to his dad, while the veteran Rey seemed foolish for being attacked backstage. Post-match, the Usos came out to set up next week's title match with the Mysterios, and whilst there's also an Intercontinental title match next week, we're hoping the Tag Gold gets the main event spot it deserves. This week, Vice's Dark Side of the Ring focused on the Ultimate Warrior mere days after he was a subject of a WWE-produced documentary on A&E, and it's safe to say these 2 shows had some major differences. During Dark Side of the Ring, AEW talent Jake the Snake Roberts sat down to detail his relationship with the controversial former world champion, speaking about a confrontation he nearly had with the Warrior at the 2014 Hall of Fame. He said, "I had a roll of quarters in my pocket. I was going to beat his ass, and I'm waiting on him, looking for him. They had him in a private area and security guards and all that. I had to wait, and I'm boiling and boiling and boiling. All of a sudden, somebody tapped me on the back. I turn around and it's the Warrior. He put his hands up and he goes, 'Please, just let me do this. I need to apologize to you and your family.' That's who I was then, but that wasn't me. But if it means anything, just know that I'm sorry. He disarmed me. Another lesson in life, man." The heat between Roberts and the Warrior was documented on Dark Side of the Ring when Vince McMahon told Jake he'd need Warrior's permission to work a program with him, and Warrior proceeded to insult Roberts, his family, and threaten to run Roberts if he messed with his money. Fans never saw the feud between them, as Warrior was suspended after SummerSlam 1991, but the 2 were able to make amends 13 years later. Back to the present, and at WrestleMania Backlash, The Miz was last seen being devoured by zombies, which was followed by reports he's injured his ACL. For next week's Raw, The Miz will host Miz TV, with guests Charlotte Flair and Raw Women's Champion Rhea Ripley ahead of their match at Hell in a Cell. And it'll be interesting to see if The Miz, who won't be competing, will discuss his ACL injury during the show. Last October, Carl Anderson's wife accused the Impact wrestler of cheating, and now it looks like there's some major drama in the Anderson household. This week, Anderson's wife Christine sent out some explosive tweets saying she knows he's been with other women, even very recently. She said, "Husband's phone accidentally called me at 3 a.m. and woke me up, and I heard a lot of commotion in the background and girls laughing. He still doesn't want to tell me the truth of what happened. Who saw him and what did he do in Jacksonville till 3 a.m.? Anderson is in Jacksonville ahead of tomorrow's Double or Nothing, and in a follow-up tweet, Christine said she wants her husband to get help. Of course I know what he really did. The real matter is that he has a drinking problem that he won't admit and refuses to get real help. Maybe you all can help. Alcoholism really tears families apart, and sometimes you gotta go extreme like this to save someone." Hopefully Anderson and his wife are able to get through this, as they had children, most of them old enough to understand what's going on, but the former WWE superstar may be in the doghouse in a big way until he gets some help. And we're ending with some more scandal, as this week it was reported that a superstar's phone was found hidden with some quote, less than savory files. That's according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, who reported that the wrestler hid the phone before it was found, but now there's an explanation behind this story. It turns out that this event actually took place at a WWE party several years ago, and management are only finding out now, but it's unclear if the phone was found in a bathroom as initially reported. It's also now reported that the superstar who owned the phone is now no longer with WWE, so don't expect any more phones full of dirty pics to be stashed backstage. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.